Today's video, we're going to talk about App Advertising Hub, Google's latest invention to help you market your app. Of course, helping them to your wallet and spending more money on their platform is what they're really doing. Of course, everybody in life has their own selfish intent. Google's no different. Google has to make money for their shareholders according to corporate law. However, doesn't mean you can't always make money as well. You just have to be able to decipher, of course, like anything else, with what they're doing, what really makes money versus not, and just taking everything what they say unfiltered, which that never makes you more money every time. I'm here to help you distinguish what part of this App Advertising Hub is basically versus the part that can actually make you money, and how we are actually using it to make money for clients at our firm who advertise an app or need to or market an app, okay? So, and with that said, if a business has an app and they have a website and their app isn't their main part of their business, we don't promote the app. Not to say you couldn't ever do that, but if you got an app, that's the time we're gonna be promoting the app with the advertising that Google offers. Mainly anymore with search ads, not app campaigns, which is something that may surprise you about this particular video. I'm going to explain why that is. Basically, Google has shitified the app campaigns. You know, the shitification of the internet always happens that way. They get a bunch of people hooked on something that works, then they start raising the price, making it shittier and shittier so they can extract more value out of it, and eventually you got to pay a whole bunch of money to get the old usage out of it that you would normally get. Except in this case, your campaigns aren't profitable, and it's not profitable to run app campaigns unless you're spending tens of thousands of dollars a month and you've got investor cash to burn. You don't need profitability right away necessarily, which is why certainly they've made the app campaign the way that they have had it. They basically said, fuck all these small users who need to bootstrap their business. We'll just go after the big guys, which make them waste tons of money that they wouldn't normally need to waste in order to get the downloads, what part of the market they want it from. That'll make us more money overall from app campaigns than we could otherwise. So with that said, I'll explain more about that. If you stay to the end of the video, I'll give you two really good app campaign case studies where we promoted an app, not with app campaigns, but with search campaigns like I was talking about a minute ago. And then so you can understand how to do the same thing for your business, because it is quite profitable to promote an app if you got a good one. Not an app that you think is good but has a lot of market demand, and of which anybody could start an app business very easily with this guy's example that I had mentioned here in a local market. A lot of you guys could run an app business off the backs of a local service that you create, make it easier to buy from using an app, which is what this guy did in the laundry space. Okay, I'll tell you about that case study at the end of the video, so make sure you watch to the end. I'm Corey Zyman, owner of Guaranteed PPC, an online advertising agency that specializes in guaranteeing results to their clients. That is more profitability from their ads before paying management fees, or to get a client to a certain minimum amount of profitability of their ads before paying any kind of management fee to our firm, which we're the only ones in the world here at Guaranteed PPC who offers any kind of contingency guarantee with their PPC/online advertising services, which should tell you something about the quality of the information you're getting on today's video. With that said, getting into the content. So the main thing that the App Advertising Hub does, which is a part of Google's platform that allows you as the advertiser of an app to make more money from the advertising that you're buying through Google Ads, is they'll, through this platform, mini platform, encourage you to set up in-app tracking. Summarize everything you use App Advertising Hub for. It's encourage you to set up in-app tracking, which you should be doing already anyway through your Google Analytics 4 account at a minimum. You cannot many times make money from any kind of advertising for an app business, or bootstrap it, if you will, unless you're tracking in-app revenue and purchase events. So you can do split testing of the traffic within your app or the users within your app, so you can extract more and more value from them over time. Where you start out today, you might make 10 cents per user. You got to be able to get that up to $1 per user or more typically in order to make money from the app and actually have it scale profitably. Also, App Advertising Hub give you more specific links you can advertise on or to, which basically Google's calling the deep linking, okay? Deep linking, just in case you don't know what that is yet, you should if you're promoting and running an app, of course, but it's where you can link to an intermediate or a different page within, or it's not really called a page, but to a certain section of your app. So when somebody downloads it, even if they were to go to Google Play Store and download it, they can actually be taken to a certain part of that app. So for instance, if you're offering, you sell, this app is for a taco truck. You can actually, if somebody wants to download tortas, which is something that they sell at taco trucks, and somebody downloads your app, they can be taken right to the torta part of the app that has just the tortas there, which obviously increases the inter-app conversion rates that you're getting from the traffic you're driving to download the app, because there's less confusion. And it's just like, running any other campaign for anything else, such as you'll make, when we run any local service campaign on Google for cleaning services or whatever, and somebody's looking for toilet cleaning, we're going to send people to a toilet cleaning landing page, because that'll convert at least double, if not 3 to 5 times as much, than sending somebody to the homepage or the website that just offers cleaning services, toilet cleaning being one of anything else. So this basic principle applies to app marketing as well, and you should do it, 100% do it, if you plan on making money with your app. That said, a lot of times you don't need to do it because your app is only doing one thing, and so you wouldn't obviously necessarily need that in order to do well. If you're offering local laundry services and you need somebody who wants a local laundry service, of course you pretty much don't need to know that they're looking to do laundry for socks in that type of scenario. So with that said, app campaigns, as I was mentioning before, due to the neutering of the targeting options that are there. I've got earlier videos that I made on this channel before about running Google app campaigns, and it worked extremely well. Nowadays, in 2025 and in the future, unless things change, which usually once Google gets to shitifying something, it never gets unshitified because they get addicted to the revenue. And of course, nobody's going to admit what they did was wrong. Not to say it would be impossible, but generally speaking, it doesn't go the other way. And so with that said, okay, as a side, local service ads, Google guarantee ads that you can run on Google search. They made that, really profitable. Then they started raising the cost, and it's starting to get shitified, which they do with every new ad product they have. Then they got rid of a way to dispute leads. So then, it just took away another aspect of what made it good. And they're going to keep going until they've got almost nobody willing to advertise anymore, and then they'll stop. It's like putting a frog and you're boiling a frog. You don't realize they're being boiled, but at a certain point, they're going to die and they're going to jump out or whatever. It's not the best analogy, but essentially trying to, with whatever they have for an advertising product, turn up the heat to the point where you would want to jump out. And then right before that point, that's where they're going to keep the water. So basically most businesses aren't going to make almost any money. Google's making most of the money. You can't blame them for doing it. App campaigns, the reason why they don't work like they used to, and now search campaigns are better, is because of the targeting. You used to be able to target, if you had, let's say, BetterHelp, okay? BetterHelp is a online therapy service, and they have the app. And the easiest way to make money back before Google has shitified app campaigns would be to start up a BetterHelp competitor targeting BetterHelp users who are searching for BetterHelp on the Google Play Store, and just say, like BetterHelp, but better first, like 1 hour free. So you would just automatically take this stream of traffic that already knows, likes, and values the service that your app offers, get them to download it at a super cheap rate. We're talking like 50 cents a download. Obviously have to give away some value in terms of the free time at the beginning, but it would be better to do that than to try to market people looking for mental health apps. And we did did work better and did a lot of that back in the day, okay? Because when somebody downloads a mental health app or wants to search for that, it's questionable what they really want. When we know they want BetterHelp app, we know exactly what they want for the most part, and therefore would do better just trying to poach their users, because somebody who's downloading BetterHelp probably heard about it from a friend, and they're serious about using this in a serious way. Not everybody, but at least a good a decent percentage of them, which is all we need. So in other words, you're going to make more money poaching your competitors' loyal customers than you will creating your own, because the person who was searching for your competitor already was probably bought into the value of that service more so. And at least when it comes to marketing and growing an app business, you need loyal long-term users. That's where all your campaign ROI comes from. In the video game space, you probably know this, or probably speaking to the choir here, if you are running an app business. In the video game space, the in-app revenue from the users who download the app, literally like 1 in 1,000 users pay for the entire freaking app. Because those people will spend tens of thousands of dollars in, upgrades, gold, whatever it is. All you need is 1 in 1,000 users to be like that for the app to be profitable. And so really what they're doing is just giving away the app for free to 99% of the users. 1% are profitable, and 1% of the 1% are the whales that spend $150,000 over the next 10 years using the app. What they're really doing in that case is looking for that 1% of the 1% that's going to spend 150 grand on and through that app. Where can they find them? And you're going to get a higher percentage of them, of people who are already bought in to buy that competitor's app, than you will find them on your own via other means, we'll say. So you would target people looking for that, or you can't even do other stuff in that. You can't even target people looking for mental health apps anymore with the stupid ass app campaigns that Google has now, which was profitable too. Wasn't quite as profitable as competitor targeting, which is, by the way, why you should be thinking about running Apple app campaigns, which was like what Google had with their app campaigns before, more so like as I described it. You'd be better off doing things, and those were the two main ways to run an app campaign that works. And if you're going to run Apple app campaigns, that's the way you would do it over there. That plus setting up the in-app revenue tracking so that you can actually plug that into your Google Ads account or your Apple app campaign, and to find the 1% of the 1%, or at least just the 1%, feed that data back in, and then progressively your campaign will get more and more better at finding where the 1% of what you're doing is and weeding out the other 99%. And you can't really generally expect your campaign to be profitable up front. You're going to advertise, and that average revenue per user from your app is just slowly going to creep up. You work on split testing the in-app experience to get that to go up. But while you're doing it and you're paying for the users, whatever you can afford at the time, or whatever investor cash you have to invest at the time, or whatever, you're using it to get the in-app average revenue per user to go up and up. And eventually, you got enough people to download, eventually it will exceed what your cost per download is. Your cost per download being $5, your average revenue per user being $5.50. Now it's like game over. You're going to get users for free, especially when you consider all the ancillary side downloads you're going to get from running a huge ad campaign at break even, from the organic downloads and referrals, because you're going to rank better in the App Store when you're actually running a ton of ad spend and getting a ton of downloads, which is why really all you should be doing with your app campaign is trying to break even with it. The more reviews you get, the better you're going to rank. Plus you're going to get all these referrals. So what you're really doing with the ad campaign is just using it as an engine to get the rest of it going for yourself, knowing that you could make no money on the ad campaign to try to get your app to rank and make money from that in and itself, but you don't have to necessarily settle for that. You just have to, you should still have the goal of understanding getting the downloads for as cheap as you can, while still at the same time trying to get the average revenue per in-app user from your ad campaigns to be higher and higher, to the point where the ad campaign can keep running forever, indefinitely, even after you rank well in the App Store, okay? That said, search campaigns are the better way to promote an app, at least through your Google Ads account, okay? Just to tell you that up front. And what that means is, if you sell a mental health app, if you were going to do this the lazy way, you would have your app campaign promoted when people type in on Google mental health apps or mental health services to go along with it, and you take them to a targeted landing page which has your app on there, and you get people to download it that way. That's better than the app campaigns, because you can be super targeted for your users because you're running the search campaign itself, which allows you to drill down on an individual level like that of what people are searching, like you used to be able to do on the app campaigns before. If you were going to be more sophisticated about it though, and you should, if you're trying to make every dollar count, instead of promoting and having your ad show up for mental health apps, which you can do that, you're going to find why people download that app. Well, they download that app for anxiety. So then I'm going to have people that are typing in looking for how to get rid of anxiety. And then I'm going to have my ad show up for people, anxiety removing app. And then I'm going to take them to a landing page and get them to download. That's going to get your cost per download to be less, for one, where you can get $1 per download very easily. It'll also, though, at the same time, get your average revenue per download from this campaign to be higher, because somebody who has a more refined understanding of what they need, the more likely they are to stay around longer. And obviously, you'll find, between anxiety and depression, what the in-app revenue is for each one of them, and you can then only run for one versus the other, and maybe you find out one's worth running and one's not, at least for a while, until you built up your campaign more, or your business more, and you've gotten enough organic traffic where you can bring the other one back in. That is specifically, what you could do. And then with the deep linking campaign, if they, like I was mentioning before, if they download or searching for how to get rid of anxiety, and you have an ad for your app there, you can have them download the app and take them right to the anxiety part of your app. That's how you be ultra efficient with app campaigns, at least through Google Ads now. You can do that, and you can often make more money doing that than even the Apple app campaigns that you can run through Apple's ad platform. Mainly because you can be hyper-targeted, and even on Apple's platform, you're going to be paying a lot of times a very high cost per click. Whereas the search term, how to get rid of anxiety, that can be 50 cents a click. And then if you get 1 in 3 to download, you're only paying $1.50 a download. And then all you got to do is get your average revenue per user up over a 50 in your goal, which, by the way, that's way harder than it sounds to get an average revenue per user of $1.50. If you're good enough to make an app that can do that just through user experience upgrades and changes, you're going to be freaking rich, because that's not easy for people to do and takes a lot of planning. You got to have good UX, good design, feedback loops, all this stuff. Most people are only going to get like 5 cents per revenue per user. And like I said, a lot of it just comes down to the traffic source. You can make the app as good as, the best app in the world in terms of user experience goes and features. But if you're getting the wrong users to download it, you'll just never get anywhere. You got to find where the 1% of your people who download apps in your niche are, if it is an established niche, that is, and be able to drill in on it, because that'll bring up a lot of times the average revenue per user from that 5 cents range to $1, to where now all you got to do is get your average cost per download to $1, and you're at least baseline profitable, which isn't impossible to do. It's hard to do still with your ad campaigns, but not impossible. The average person who runs ads for their app is going to be paying $5 a download, not $1. If you do outside of the box thinking and strategy, like I mentioned a minute ago with the search campaigns, how to do that, you can actually get it down to $1 as well. In other words, what it's going to take for you to have the ad campaign be profitable and scalable just from the money that the ads run, you're going to have to get the ad campaign super drilled in terms of who it actually shows up for and a good landing page. But then on top of that, you're going to have 10,000 downloads to find the 1% of what you're doing that actually works and drill it all down to that moving forward. That's why it's not as easy as it sounds to build an app business, because you got to generally get it working and get enough downloads to rank first in the App Store. You need 10,000 plus downloads, but in order to get it, you're gonna have to run an ad campaign that won't pay for itself. And really, you shouldn't be even thinking about marketing an app unless it's an app for a local market, like I'm about ready to talk about here in a minute here, or where ultimately you're gonna be dumping, $100,000 worth of advertising till you finally get downloads cheap enough and the average revenue per user high enough to have the campaign break even, which is why the average person who works for a company that knows how to develop apps aren't able to get into it, because it's an expensive game. And that is assuming you know everything about ads and landing pages and all that, which you probably have to spend another $100,000 on a firm that knows what the hell they're doing to set this up and put it into motion. So now you're talking about $250,000 in terms of knowledge, ad spend, to get you just a break-even campaign going for your business. However, you can do a local app if you're trying to get into marketing an app and you don't care what it is. I would recommend doing something like this other guy in the laundry services space did. So before I do mention that though, if you want to set up a killer ad campaign that for your app that's going to get you a super low cost per download and progressively more revenue per user of your app, reach out to me at my firm at guaranteedppc.com because we've marketed several apps now. We know how to do this really well at this point. And we can give you a guarantee, of which may not be able to get you a break-even campaign in 60 days, but we can tell you specifically what it would do. All you got to do is reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com and I'll be happy to have a conversation with you about it. Similar to that, or in addition to that, we also have ad templates. You want to promote your app, we can sell you the template of the campaign that we ran last time in terms of landing page, all of that, and you can start there, and that can save you a whole hell of a lot of time and money up front as well. At the very least, can be very helpful to you as well. I mean, if you don't know anything about running ads, you can watch this channel and learn it that way, or you can just use the template and that'll save you 80% of the time it would take to learn stuff because the framework's all there. Which, by the way, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, you absolutely should if you're serious about making millions of dollars for your business running ads, because this channel has all the key information about what works and what doesn't work with Google ads, Facebook ads, any online ads and landing pages, because I spend 40 hours a week doing ad strategy at our firm with dozens of ad accounts to know what works, and I've been running ads like this for 20 years now. You ain't gonna find anybody with more experience from what I do anywhere else on YouTube and online, and I can say that confidently because I look around and I don't know anybody else who spends 40 hours a week doing ad strategy and then on the weekends like I do, just talk about what worked. So if you wanna learn from the best, you want to subscribe to this channel, it has all the information you need. Furthermore, I have a blog, a really great blog on my site at guaranteedppc.com/blog, where I go through step by step the instructions on what you need to do to guarantee results for your campaigns and the strategies we're using to guarantee results for our clients. So it's all laid out for you with screenshots, with everything. If you like the channel, you're probably going to like the blog even more. So you should check that out as well. If you have any questions also, let me know in the comment section. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours time. To get into the case studies here, so we had two apps, a mental health app and a laundry services app. Okay, for the mental health app, we did just as I was describing before. We'd run Google search ads for keywords related to how to fix a medical problem, how to fix anxiety, how to fix depression, how to fix post-traumatic stress disorder, driving them to hyper-targeted landing pages and getting results with it. What does results mean? We were getting $5 download cost off of Google search traffic, which is very high compared to where it would be after running our ads for 24 plus months already, and you had plenty of time to find the best possible ad copy, best possible landing page. Break in the ads so that you'll get much higher quality scores and Google will lower your cost per click. But that's what we were able to get right away. So I just wanted to give you the right away number because a lot of you guys need to know what you're gonna get right away because you ain't gonna have the liberty to run it at a loss for 24 months to get to $1 download cost, which is what it was down to when we eventually ran the campaigns for that long. With that said, okay, the average revenue per user progressively during that 24 months got higher and higher. I'm not going to take all the credit for that. However, it did help because we were getting the in-app revenue to filter back into the campaigns. We were running ads on the Apple app platform, search ads platform, as well as through Google through the search ads, as I was talking about here. But part of the results was creating hyper-targeted campaigns for specific keywords with specific ad copy for each, because I do single keyword ad groups here where I write laser targeted ad copy for every single keyword we're targeting. So if somebody types in, what's the best ways to get rid of anxiety? Best way to get rid of anxiety, question mark? Download our app. And then driving them to a landing page that reaffirms to the user that you're in the right place. Best way to get rid of anxiety is with our anxiety app. Here's the testimonials from our users, download the app. There's a bit more to that page than that, but that's the basic premise of what we're talking about here. Then we monitor who's within the app using it because it's a free sign up. And then we're trying to see who upgrades to a paid user and then how long they stay on top of it and using that to steer the ad. So naturally with Google, you can only track up to 90 days from the time that someone downloads the app as to counting how much revenue you get from that user. And so with that, you more so have to use you only get basically, because the first 7 days is free and then you can track up to 90 days, which they usually download the app right away or nothing. So you basically can see in that time, did they upgrade because it's a monthly fee twice Or did they upgrade once, or did they just abandon after the first 7 days? That in itself, though, was enough to steer the campaign to progressively make the average revenue per user steadily go up, even though in GA4 you can track lifetime value from a user, and you can see the search terms that people typed in. So you can do lifetime value analysis within GA4 to see the search terms that get you the highest average revenue per user, and then use it to steer your campaigns manually by basically singling out the search terms that you want your ads to show up for that are actually bringing in the highest revenue per user. But that's basically the general premise of what we did and what you're going to want to do for yourself if you're serious about getting the most results for your campaign in the littlest amount of time, because you only have so much to spend. And for that matter, it's still going to take you time to get to profitability with your ads, regardless of what you're doing, unless you're doing an app that's got super high demand with very low competition, then maybe you can get it to work right away. But I wouldn't count on it being cash flowing and paying for itself in the first 30 days. You're wasting your time if that's what you expect. That said, what I always tell people on this channel is to invest what you can afford to lose. If you're making XY amount of money per day at your day job, let's say you make $300 a day at your day job and you're just doing this on the side, throw $30 a day that you're making into the app campaign that you're running, not expecting it to make money right away. You're just going to run that ad. And if it takes 24 months to get to break even, that's what it takes. But what you aren't going to do is half-ass your approach and not do dedicated landing pages for each keyword and so forth. And similarly to that, not set up the right tracking, because every dollar you spend with the tracking gets you one step closer to the end goal that you need. What most people would do is they're so excited about running ads, they're going to hurry up and throw a campaign together right away, thinking it's going to be super easy to get rich doing this. Then they find out it doesn't after a few months, and they pissed away all that time and money that they could have at least been using to accumulate data in their account so they can find out what works and what doesn't work, which you can do on Apple's ad platform, by the way, and Google's, if I didn't clarify up front or specify it clear enough before. So literally, it's like you're investing, it's like a piggy bank that you're filling up. It's not about what can ads do for you today, it's how much time, how much data am I going to need in order for the campaigns to have the capability of being profitable. It might be that you have to spend 50 grand on ads before you reach that point, and you've got enough data in your account to run the ads profitably, finally. And so what you're doing each dollar you put into it is just filling up that piggy bank so that when it's full, you can finally cash out on it. Most people are going to say, oh, I ran an ad, it wasn't profitable, it didn't work. No. If it were that easy, everybody would be freaking rich that needed to start up an app. Second to that, there's only 1% of the damn market that's profitable. You expect you're going to find it right away? Obscene for you to make that. I mean, you don't know what you don't know when you're starting out with this stuff, but 90% of the work in making an app business work is figuring out how to create a scalable ad campaign for your business, because once that's done, everything else happens automatically. You can pay developers to make the app better and better and better, and designers make the UX better and all that. Of course, you have to be talented enough to make a good app that people that will keep using it once they're downloading it. I don't discount that at all. That's actually very hard too. But once that basic thing is out of the way, it's either can you put an ad campaign together that scales, or can't you? And if you can't, you're going to have a fucking long-ass slog, long-ass road to go down to get this thing working. And for the most part, the ad campaign is the way to scale it. Bottom line, I don't care what else you say, and you aren't going to get no organic traffic unless you have the ad campaign rolling first, because Google doesn't send traffic to people who don't basically need the traffic, if you will. They don't give you users on Google Play unless it's clear that you don't need it anymore, because tons of people are going to Google Play, typing in the name of your app, downloading it, and see that other people are using it outside the platform. They don't want to be the only ones recommending you, in other words. Anyway, with that said, okay, laundry service app. Now going into that, the guy had a brilliant idea, I thought, where, most of the time in the laundry services space, if you want somebody to do your laundry for you, we'll bring your laundry to a laundry shop and they'll do it and you have to pick it up later, right? Or maybe sometimes they might deliver it to your house, but probably not. There's also services though where you can order online somebody to come pick up your laundry, but it's very cumbersome. You have to say like how many pounds it is, how many socks versus t-shirts you got. Just a huge pain in the ass, to the point where if money was no object, I still wouldn't want to do it. what this guy did was he created an app where all you have to do if you want to have your laundry done is hit this big green button on your phone, big red button, and somebody would show up within the next like 4 hours to pick up the laundry, and then they would bring it back within 24 hours and it's done already. Simplifying the whole process immensely. So that when you're going through that app, even, you're not sure what the price is going to be at the end of the day once you submitted all the information. This, what the price is up front going to be, and it's obviously easier to order. And the way that it worked was it was a flat rate for a certain bag that you stuff as full as you can to the top, and then that's it. The more you could stuff in the bag, the more you get for your money, which was like $60. It sounds like a lot, but it's not meant for everybody. It's meant for people that want to save time, they want their weekend back. It's actually, so you're paying for convenience. It's like going to a convenience store. You can pay $2 for a candy bar, or you can get it 50 cents at the grocery store. It's about convenience. With that said, the first time they have to bring you a bag, but after that, every time you want the laundry done, it's literally you pull out your phone, click, and then the guy just magically shows up to get your bag of laundry within the next 2-3 hours, and it's brought back the next day, and it's addictive. Why spend all your time cleaning or doing all your laundry when you can whip out a phone and click a button? And then the app was linked to Stripe and PayPal and Cash App and all that. So you don't even have to worry about paying anything. You literally just leave the thing on your doorstep, and then you come back, the next day after partying, and it's there on your doorstep again. Brilliant idea. So a lot of people don't think about this that want to find an app that will work for their business, because they're thinking like video games and this and that. Those markets take a lot of money to break into because there's a lot of money and there's a lot of competition. On a localized basis for laundry services, there's basically nobody with an app, or at least an app that's good anyway. You'll be the only one. There's no one to compete against. Yes, the stakes are lower. Therefore, if you really crush it, you're not going to make as much. For you guys that have less money to start out with, that should be more so what you're doing, in my opinion, first. A lot of people don't think about this. They find the most ideal business that they want to be in, whether it's a big e-commerce store, they want to they want to start a plumbing company or whatever. But these markets, if you do everything right, you can make millions of dollars for sure in those markets. What they should do is find a smaller business, ultimately like shoe repair. There's very little competition. Do that business, make the 50 grand a year in profit that you can make once that's already done completely right. Then take the 50 grand to get the next business working, given you're going to have to dump 5 grand a month into it for the next 6, 12, 18 months to get that off the ground, but can easily do it because you got one revenue source already financing the next one. So, and in a lot of cases, it's even easier to do 2 businesses like that, but start a business that's a micro business that has very little competition, go into something that's got a little bit more competition, and then use the money from that to go into the big thing. Where you could compete with blinds.com for custom blind sales, where you can make $100 million a year, and use the 5 grand a month profit to start the business that makes 50 grand a month profit. And then the 50 grand a month profit, you can go into the one that makes 500 grand a month in profit. It's like a waterfall, or like filling up an ice cube tray. There's a few analogies I could use for that. But anyway, with that said, we were getting downloads for $15 a download roughly, but the average person is going to use the app at least 2 times. So we're spending $120 on average. We're paying $15 for a download, and we were just showing up for people typing in laundry services, wash and fold laundry service, stuff like that. We're not even looking for an app. So along with the mental health thing, we're going after people not looking for an app. We're just being the right person at the right time, which our app solves a problem, and we're going after people who are looking for a problem, an answer to their problem. Whereas most people who are marketing an app think that they need to go where people are looking to download apps. And you could do that. There's just going to be more competition, and you will often be much better off, going where there's no competition in terms of where you advertise, like in the 2 examples I just shared here. So that's another great example of how to market an app successfully. How to market an app, you should be thinking about, do I even have the right app to market? Do I have enough money to market the type of app and the type of competition I have to go up against to make it work, and have enough gunpowder to make it work? And if I don't, maybe I market a different app. But once I know I have enough money, I'm going to do everything I can to be as targeted as possible with my approach, and I'm going to track every single dollar of revenue for my app while trying to make the app consistently better to make the ads work a little better on an ongoing basis that way. But that's how you truly make an app work and make it profitable. And then obviously once you're break even with your ads, you're all home free. It's just going to get more and more profitable at that point in time. There's nothing, your success is guaranteed at that point. It's just a matter of, can you put enough effort in to make your ads scale up before you run out of money on the front end? And that's really what stops everybody from making it work, obviously. So with that said, I'll wrap everything up with that. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Remember when I said App Campaign S was important during this video? Well, this video here tells you how to do it.